We've got some breaking news here on Steelers Talk, and it's a quarterback move, but maybe not the one that is going to be the big move here. But it's Mason Rudolph, a familiar face, returns to the Pittsburgh Steelers on a 2-year, $8 million contract. $4.5 million of that is guaranteed. So it's backup money here, guys, and I do believe Mason Rudolph is an insurance policy here in case Aaron Rodgers, who is taking his sweet time to make a decision in terms of what he's going to be doing in 2025, does not decide to come to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to be talking about why I really like this move for the Pittsburgh Steelers here in just a second. But first, make sure you click that subscribe button because this is why you subscribe to the channel, guys. Every time Omar Khan makes a move this offseason, we are going to get you guys a breaking news video. And, of course, when the Steelers sign their starting quarterback, that would be Aaron Rodgers at this point in time, we will go live if the Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. So we'll get to some of the reporting here. Mike Garafolo says the Steelers remain in the mix for Aaron Rodgers, but they valued Mason Rudolph and want him to be a part of their quarterback mix no matter what. So they locked him down before anyone else could. So yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers are still in the mix for Aaron Rodgers at this point, and their plan is to have Rodgers as their starting quarterback and to sign him to a 2-year contract, and then to have Mason Rudolph be his backup for the next 2 seasons as this team tries to compete for a Super Bowl championship in the final 2 years of Cam Hayward's career. When it comes to Mason Rudolph, guys, he's a very, very solid backup. Last year played quite a bit with the Tennessee Titans when Will Levis was absolutely crapping the bed for them last year. He was injured at some points, and then he got benched. But then Rudolph comes in, 64% completion percentage, over 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions, though. So the touchdown-to-interception ratio wasn't great. But we remember back in 2023 in that 4-game stretch that Mason Rudolph came in with the Steelers, he was excellent. He had the highest passer rating in the league to finish out the season there in 2023, led the team from really dire straits to a win streak to finish out the regular season, beating the Bengals, the Seahawks, and the Ravens to finish up, and then also the playoff game against the Buffalo Bills where the team was competitive but ended up losing by multiple scores in Buffalo. And then the team ended up moving on from Mason Rudolph, signing Russell Wilson in the 2024 offseason. But the team really likes Mason. They like him as a backup option, and they see him kind of like as a replacement-level starter. And the fact that they're bringing him back here shows the amount of trust that the team has in him. Now, I am a little bit surprised that Rudy decided that he wanted to come back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially on like a backup level contract, because Rudy was somebody that felt betrayed by this team last year because this team was telling him and his representation all throughout the process last year, we want you back, we want you back, we want you back. Then at the last second, they signed Russell Wilson the night before NFL free agency begins, and Rudolph felt pretty betrayed by that, not to mention Mike Tomlin told him he would have a legitimate chance to compete for the starting job in 2022 with Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, and despite arguably outplaying both of them in camp, he ended up being delegated to QB3 duties, but now it appears Steelers' plan A here is for Aaron Rodgers to come and be this team's starting quarterback for the next 2 seasons, with Rudolph being the backup. But if Rodgers decides to go elsewhere, Rudolph then becomes the new veteran option in this group. So grade the signing for me down there in the comment section. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. This will be the pinned comment on today's show, so YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, let me know your grade for the Mason Rudolph signing. For me personally, guys, I'm going to give this one an A-. All right, I like this signing for the Pittsburgh Steelers because, you are waiting for Aaron Rodgers right now, and you didn't want Mason Rudolph, who was probably your best fallback option. If really, Russell Wilson really isn't on the table right now, that relationship has soured apparently. And if that's the case, Mason Rudolph was probably your best fallback option as a veteran quarterback option if Aaron Rodgers decided to go to the Minnesota Vikings or decided to go to the New York Giants instead of deciding to come to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, even if Rodgers does go to those teams, you have Mason Rudolph as a really good veteran option for you that has a really good deep ball, can play within rhythm, is generally pretty darn accurate. And is good mental processor, all of those things. But then also you can draft a quarterback in this year's NFL draft to go along with him, and then hopefully one of those two quarterbacks work out in the future. So I like this insurance policy here, especially for the price tag. We'll be talking a little bit more about Mason Rudolph and some of the other signings that the Pittsburgh Steelers have made over the last several hours in just a second. But first, we have to talk about our sponsor here at Prize Picks. And Prize Picks is the best place to get real money, sports action on all the types of different sports, guys. You can get NASCAR on Prize Picks, basketball, hockey, baseball's right around the corner. You can get in on the action right now by downloading the Prize Picks app for free. Join over 10 million members and sign up today. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, where every Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineup. So the way that Prize Picks works, guys, is you find 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you pick more than or less than. If you get those projections right, or if you do a flex play, you get most of them right, you can make some money with our friends at Prize Picks. That is, if you know ball. This is an example of what a Prize Picks projection looks like. You can take the more on Luka Doncic, points, rebounds, and assists, and then the less on Giannis Antetokounmpo, points, rebounds, assists. If you get those two right, then you get to make some money with our friends at Prize Picks today. So download the app today. Use code CLNS. It's right down there in the bottom right of your screen, guys. CLNS to get $50 instantly after playing your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup when you download the Prize Picks app today. Prize Picks, run your game. So like I said, guys, if Aaron Rodgers does decide to go to a different team, not named the Pittsburgh Steelers, I still think the Steelers are the favorites to land him, but if he does go to the Giants, if he does go to the Minnesota Vikings, Mason Rudolph is somebody that this team trusts to be a veteran option, and I would probably guess that they take a quarterback relatively early in the NFL draft, if that's the case. Whether that's Tyler Shuck out of Louisville, they have put a lot of attention on him. It could be Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss, who they have really kept a close eye on as well. It could be Shadur Sanders if he begins to fall in the first round of the NFL draft, and then they would have Mason Rudolph as kind of the veteran kind of mentor for that rookie in year one. But when it comes to Aaron Rodgers here, guys, I still feel good that he is going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers, because if he really wants to cherish winning, and if he really wants to cherish trying to win a Super Bowl, I think that his best chance to do that out of the realistic options are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is it still possible that the Minnesota Vikings are still in the mix for him? Yes, but according to Adam Schefter, a report he put out yesterday, Minnesota is moving forward with J.J. McCarthy, and he is, quote-unquote, their guy at the starting quarterback position. So it doesn't really make sense to bring in a guy like Aaron Rodgers if that is the case. I still think at this point my best guess is that Aaron Rodgers chooses the Pittsburgh Steelers whenever he does eventually come to that decision. But I really like the Rudolph pick here in this signing, because it's an insurance policy in case Rodgers does not make that decision. Some of the moves we'll recap here that the Steelers have made so far, and I do expect more moves for the Steelers today, by the way. DK Metcalf, the wide receiver, was the big move of free agency so far. The day before free agency, Omar Khan traded a second-round pick to the Seahawks for Metcalf's services and locked him up to a 5-year, $150 million contract to keep him here for the next half-decade at least. Jaylen Warren will be back next year on the second-round tender, 1 year, $346 million. Darius Slay officially signed his contract yesterday, 1 year, $10 million deal, which is fully guaranteed. Really like that signing for the value. Carlton Davis, Charvarius Ward, guys that I would consider not as good as Darius Slay on film last year, signed for double the money that the Steelers got Darius Slay for, so great value. They also got Malik Harrison as a special teams ace and rotational inside linebacker. They also brought in a really, really good piece at RB3 with Kenneth Gainwell. Brandon Eccles is also a really good depth piece at corner that they signed yesterday as well. And now they add Mason Rudolph to the mix here, 2-year, $8 million contract, a really good, very solid backup level contract here for somebody that this organization trusts, that is beloved by the fans as well. So if Aaron Rodgers comes in, God forbid, gets hurt, and Mason Rudolph can come in, and this season is not completely over. He proved that by saving this season in 2023. He has some established chemistry with some of the players in this locker room already, George Pickens, Calvin Austin III. So I really, really like this move for the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. And let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Will Mason Rudolph start a game for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025? Give me a yes or a no. My answer to this is hopefully not. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers comes in and he stays fully healthy throughout the entirety of the season. But I love the fact that Mason is here just in case that needs to be a possibility for the black and gold. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. If there's more breaking news and the Steelers make more moves later today, we will have breaking news coverage for you guys. And of course, we will be live if the Pittsburgh Steelers end up agreeing to terms with Aaron Rodgers as well. So make sure you click that subscribe button for the latest surrounding the black and gold. And until next time, guys, here we go, Steelers.